Hello, everybody. Who cares? Five, four, three, two, one. Enough to care. I had to guesstimate that countdown because they put that annoying banner. That is no fun at all. This is set 2 of the Group C of Neat MSL, and we being me and Deja Vu, are bringing you Take 2 of set 2. It is Hiva versus Flash on Odd Eye. But before I start, let's just go into the last game. That was the most epic thing ever. I love Nate, whoever he is. He would be my lover if I was gay, even if I wasn't gay. Okay, I just called myself gay. I would make love with him for all I care. He made such an epic game last night. That was such a good game. If you don't like our commentary of it, go watch it on John747. Best game ever. But Flash versus Hiva. Flash gonna be the red Terran top left. Hiva the yellow Zerg bottom right. The map Odd Eye, it's perfectly symmetrical. And in case you're wondering, we're doing take 2 because Deja dropped the F word because his passion for the last game kind of brought it out. But Deja knows more about this map, so I'm gonna let him talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, last game was pretty sweet with some awesome sweet build by C and just a totally flustered and bad response by Iris completely. So yeah, I dropped the F-bomb there. Oops. So yeah, we're gonna take a second take here. It's not too bad because we didn't. I don't think we went too far into the commentator to really ruin too much. This is Odd Eye, so you only have two start positions. Cross on the map, bottom right, top left. Kind of divides diagonally from top right to bottom left. There's a sort of diagonal
It was
divide, and
overpool.
this is gonna be it's actually a 12 hatch here. Actually, it looks like. Yeah, I think we're going to see a 12 hatch 11 pool with and then the gas coming down for for Hiva in a few seconds, due to the fact that this is take 2. So we saw the first couple minutes, so I know that that's going to be coming out. And the way it divides diagonally is towards there's about 4 bases on your half. Towards the top right, there's a dual set of bridges, and on the bottom left, there's a hill that has a wide ramp on one side and a couple smaller ramps, narrow ramps on the other side. And those are going to be two of the major battlegrounds on this map. But other than that, yeah, this is going to be a game that Flash is going to be heavily favored in. It's hard to see how he could possibly lose against a guy like Hiva. Flash is just so good. He's like, I don't know, probably 65 plus in every matchup. So this one's probably going to be up there. It doesn't even matter. What's the difference at that point? And he's going to get the scat out. Seeing that 12 hatch going down right now. Going to get a full scat out. Going to see the pool and everything. This is just standard play, and it's going to be one rack straight into CC. Flash is a great macro player. Loves his macro. So yeah, I mean, this I think plays right into how Flash likes to play. Anytime that you can get that sort of macro play out of Flash, I think you've got to favor him every step of the way. I think this is definitely plays right into his hands, and I like this a lot. And this is not going to be a mech play, by the way. No gas yet, so probably going to be standard bio into SK Terran, so this should be pretty standard. Should be a nice, efficient win by Flash. That's what I'm expecting anyways.
Yeah, Flash could play with his feet and still beat most Zergs nowadays. There is JVZ, and now there is FVZ. In case you're a retard, that means Flash versus Zerg. So, we were retards. In take 1, we thought it was 9 pool speed into 3 hatch Muta. But in fact, it is the 12 hatch into 2 hatchery Mutalisk, I believe. Damage, make an idiot of myself. If there's a 3rd hatchery, don't tell me. Ignorance is bliss, I'll call it. But Flash is going to put down his bunker at his natural expansion, so he's going to be able to prevent lay harassment from the 6 Zerglings that are coming up from Hiva, and I wanted to call him Saint. But this map, I haven't seen much on it. I don't know how TVZ plays out, but by the looks of it, by what I've seen on the mini-map, there's not that much space. There's a ridge and then mineral patches. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, there's a ridge and then there's mineral patches. So Milos Kras must be pretty good on this map. Not half bad at all. So he was just going to go straight for the 2-hatch Muta. Thank God Flash isn't 2-raxing because that just butchers 2-hatch Muta. But Flash has this ramp blocked. Okay, there's a bit of space, but still, I was still right. There's not a lot of space. So Hiva's going to try and take the game with his Mutalisk Micro, or at least try and get a pretty good advantage. Try and set himself up in a good position. But Flash is the Jesus. Run by failed. Failed run by, oh my god. Oh my god. That did not just happen. Hiva just lost a lot of Zerglings there. But if Flash wins this game, as I was saying, he is the Jesus, he is the punk, he will have a 10 out of 10 win rate. TVZ, he will continue that 10 out of 10 win rate. ZVZ, and we'll have to see what happens. I'll let Deja give his thoughts on that failed run by thing that I didn't talk about enough.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was some great play by Flash. Great job pulling off his SCPs. But I'm not really sure why Hiva went for it. To be honest, he knew that there was two Marines on the map. Should have known that there'd be two Raxus reinforcing with a couple more Marines. And I just can't see how he really could have done too much there. Just mediocre micro by Flash would have been enough to stop that. And he had great micro instead, so he comes up well ahead. His engineering bay is coming up right now, so he should have turrets in time as well. He did scout this out, so he should be in a pretty good situation here. And I just don't know why he did that. I just really don't understand what Hiva was trying to accomplish there, unless he like thought that there weren't Marines there or something. But as soon as he saw the Marines, he should have just pulled out and tried to limit his losses. We see turrets going up in strategic positions already for Flash, and Hiva back here with Zerglings. Hopefully he doesn't try to do anything, but he is just so far behind. He's got 6 Mutalisks out, I assume, with the double hatch popping out. Actually, it only looks like 3 or 4 right now. Probably going to build up a couple more, but the turrets are already up in time. This is just not going to be a very effective build. I can't foresee this really being very useful. And a decent force of medic marines, not a lot yet, but it is going to be a growing force, and this should already be enough to deal with these Mutalisks. There's a couple turrets already out supporting each other. 3 Mutalisks, not enough to micro against two turrets, not at all. 6 Mutalisks, still not really enough to micro against a few now third turret coming up at the natural expansion. And yeah, well, I do agree with you that I think Mutalisk harass would be pretty effective at, say, like the bottom right bases. At the top left natural expansion, that is not a ton of room to really operate, honestly, because there's no room behind the mineral patches. There's no room behind the mineral patches to the main either. Actually, on the bottom right, there's not a whole lot of room to operate either. So I don't know if Mutalisk harass is really going to be as effective as we've seen on other maps. There's not a lot of room to micro with your Mutalisk, but and Hiva's not even taking the third base, so he's going to fall behind economically, and I think he's just going to let Flash get away, because with all those Mutalisks, if you don't get any damage done, you just fall behind. We'll see if he can do anything with his growing number, but I think Flash has the defense down pretty solid here.
You know, at this point, I think he was screwed. Flash, with the Jesus power, secured the win by blocking those lanes, and I didn't talk about that enough before. I don't know why I'm talking about it now. But unless Hiva pulls saint-like moves out of his belt, he won't be able to do much. The Mutalisks are getting repelled fairly effectively, taking out 2 turrets and losing 2 or 3 Mutalisks there. Not at all worth it. But if Hiva went along doing something like Saint did, he would just be my Jesus. I would go cast every game on John747's account in one day. Maybe not upload them in one day, but still you get the point. Hiva is taking the bottom left for his third guess expansion, and I'm assuming we're going to see a Hydra's Den soon, or I might have just used psychic powers. The refinery was the refinery even there? If the refinery was not there, the refinery got sniped. Those turrets are under a lot of stress there by that Mutalisk harass. But they will be able to hold Hiva, trying to do as much as he can with this Mutalisk harass type thing. But it's not going to be able enough. An Overlord gets sniped. That's just the worst thing imaginable for a Zerg player, especially in this position. I don't think he would build excess Overlords, honestly. So he's going to be Psylocke, taking out a few Marines there. Pretty good, but it would be optimal if he didn't lose any Mutalisks. He's trying to stall Flash from getting down to that bottom left. Flash has obviously scouted the bottom left, or scanned it, or whatever he does, the scout, which is obviously scanning. There is Hiva, looking like a grizzly bear. Huh. But Hiva's delaying. It's delaying the inevitable right now. GG! I think I hogged that, so I'm going to let Deja give his thoughts on that rather quick game.
Well, you know what happened is, as he was trying to keep those Marine count low, which you have to do, well, he lost about 5 or 6 Mutalisks just in his swoops going there. It seemed like every swoop or every other swoop he went in there, Flash was picking off a Mutalisk, and as that build-up loss was current, he noticed that he could no longer really one-shot multiple Marines, so he had to DG. There was just no way he was going to be able to hold on. So Flash just with a very efficient victory, just great defense. Flash is probably the best defensive player in the game, any race, any way, any time. It's just so hard to beat him. Just attack.